Matt Waine here, Solidarity Council for the Mulhuddle Ward. Just an update for people of our campaign to develop the Damastown lands in Mulhuddle as a social and affordable community. So this morning, myself, Councillor Sandra Kavanagh and Deputy Ruth Coppinger met with the CEO of Fingal County Council, Paul Reid, and also the Director of Housing, Margaret Garrity. So we organised a meeting to discuss our proposal to develop Damastown Village as a social and affordable community, and as a step towards trying to deal with the worsening and deepening housing and rents crisis in Dublin 15. So I think first of all it's extremely welcome that Fingal have finally agreed to develop these lands, which are the last publicly owned, council owned land in Dublin 15. However, I think it would be fair to say that Fingal would not be developing these lands, certainly on the scale that we are proposing, were it not for the campaign that Solidarity has waged in the last number of months, and indeed over the last couple of years, trying to put pressure on the council to bring forward proposals to develop social and affordable housing across the Dublin 15 area. There are a few issues I think we need to address, and I came out of the meeting this morning that there's differences of opinion in terms of how these lands can and should be developed. So the first point was, it was clear from Fingal that it is their intention that there would be a certain percentage of the homes built in Damastown that would be sold privately on the private open market. That figure could be 10, 15, 20% of the units could be sold in that manner. It wasn't clear how many the council were prepared to sell at that basis, but nonetheless it definitely is part of their plan at this particular stage. So we are totally opposed to that for a number of reasons. We're opposed to the idea that a developer should be brought in and should be able to cream off profits on the basis of the housing crisis and be given a slice of land, publicly owned land, in order to make that profit. Similarly, we don't think that there should be a two-tier situation. We believe that there can be a good social mix maintained in the community by offering people an affordable mortgage scheme. We're not in favour of one family paying a certain amount of money in a mortgage each month, and then a family living in the same situation, the same financial circumstances, are then paying something dramatically more than that. I think the other issues that we raised was that the question of how this is going to be funded. We're not in favour of private money being used as part of some type of public-private partnership, again for profit, for private interest. In our proposal, we proposed that the whole development could be funded by public monies from Fingal's own capital budget, from loans, and indeed the affordable mortgage scheme finance from the Housing Finance Agency, and also from proper investment from the Department of the Environment. Let's not forget that there are literally billions of euros sitting in the Irish Strategic Investment Fund. We are owed billions by Apple Corporation, and there are of course billions resting in NAM as well. There's no shortage of money, and therefore there's no need to involve private interests, for-profit interests, in the development of these lands. We also made points about the nature of the tenure in this area. Like I said, we think we can have a social mix by offering a generous affordable mortgage scheme that will be eligible for many people who are currently trapped in the private rental market, paying exorbitant rents each month. Those people should be accommodated by an affordable mortgage scheme, and we think the best way of developing these lands is for 50% of the units to be ring fenced for social housing, for those who are on the housing list and for those who are homeless and so on, but that the other 50% should be ring fenced for an affordable mortgage scheme for working families and so on. The other issues that we raised with them is that we wanted an absolute commitment in terms of the time frame for this. We're not prepared to accept a kind of a pedestrian approach of phasing 50 houses here and 100 there, dragged out over a whole period of time. Whatever is needed in terms of the different phasing and contractors needs to be done to front load the greatest number of houses to be finished and developed as soon as possible, so that it adds some relief to the nightmare of the housing crisis at the moment. We've also made the point to them that we didn't want this project to be drawn out and delayed because of EU tendering rules, whereby the local authority has to tender for this project across the EU, and giving private corporations and builders and developers the opportunity to bid for this project. This is a public housing project, and it needs to have the support of Fingal County Council, the Minister for the Environment, to make sure that it is developed with the interest of ordinary people, the people who are suffering from the housing crisis at heart, and not have due regard to the profit levels and the profit margins of private interests and developers. What we need now is to put pressure not only on the local councillors, some of whom have supported this campaign, but specifically also on the CEO of Fingal, and indeed on the Minister for the Environment, to ensure that this positive, progressive proposal that Solidarity have come forward is the proposal that's implemented on the ground. And we ask you to get on board, to lobby your councillors and to lobby the CEO by emailing him at the link in the post. Thanks very much.